Hello, my strong sturgeons. It's your boy Zeonic Blader, and if you have been following me for a while now, you know that I like to rank Bakugan from worst to best. After doing it for 4 years, I should probably let you in onto my thought process. While I do explain my reasonings as to why I rank Bakugan the way I do in my videos, I felt I should give a general overview of what I see as a good Bakugan. Some general baselines that stay consistent throughout the entire series are core lineups and damage. A core lineup is the 2 Baku cores a Bakugan brings with them on the field. It is what the Bakugan roll onto and open on, so having a good core lineup is very crucial to the success of a Bakugan. The cores that give the highest boosts in stats are what's desired, and the 2 best ones are the Magic Shield, which gives the most boost in bpower, and the Fire Fist, which gives the most boost in damage. The Helix core is a step below, capable of giving a high boost in either bpower or damage, close in power to the Magic Shield and Fire Fist. However, Helix cores have a drawback, where it also gives reductions to the opposite stat. So, if you're getting a boost in B-Power, you'll also get a reduction in damage, and vice versa. The worst 2 cores to have are the Shield and Green Fist cores. These cores give mid to low boost in stats, and the only way they are good is when a Bakugan has some kind of special effect letting it gain additional boosts on them, or when the Bakugan stats are already so high that it does the heavy lifting. If you want to see me get more specific and rank the core lineups via a tier list, check out my Baku Core tier list video, link in the description. What is considered a good damage rating has generally stayed the same throughout every format. A damage rating of 10 or higher after calculating core boost is what is desired. Due to B-Power focused Bakugan not really having much in terms of damage, a 10 damage stat is usually enough to win a brawl in a highest damage wins play. A highest damage wins play is initiated by cards like Might of Syndius or Mac, which change the usual highest B-Power wins into highest damage wins instead. Akin to how some cards in the original Bakugan game changed the winning condition from highest G-Power to lowest G-Power. Throughout all of the formats, there are Bakugan that are released that have very powerful effects. I could spend all day going into detail, but it's better if you just watch my worst to best videos instead. Some examples of powerful effects are with Maximus Dragonoid, which have a win condition effect, and Pyroserpentes, which deals damage when opening on a Fire Fist. Armored Alliance saw some epic character cards bring in game-breaking effects. Evolutions brought in core manipulating Bakugan, and Legends brought in Bakugan that could add gears onto themselves for free. A Bakugan's faction also plays an important role as to how good it is. Depending on which format, certain factions have the edge over others. In Bakugan Battle Planet, Aquas was the best faction due to its diverse card pool consisting of cheap B-Power boosting cards, rerolling, and card negation. Aquas was also the only viable mono-faction deck due to Flooding Waters, which for 1 energy gave you 200 B-Power per Aquas Bakugan in your team. So in a mono Aquas team, that's 600 B-Power for only 1 energy, which at the time was the most bang for your buck you could get. In Bakugan Armed Alliance, the Sync playstyle made Aquas and Darkus the must-have faction for a team. Every other faction acted as a support for the Sync deck. In Armored Alliance and Geogan Rising, a Bakugan being Aurelis was a hindrance due to them generally being underpowered and having a poor card pool. It wasn't until Evolutions and Legends when we would see Aurelis Bakugan finally catch up in power. Highest B-Power is the automatic win condition of a brawl, so it's a stat that is very important. In the early parts of Bakugan Battle Planet, which is a format that consists of waves 1 to 4, as well as the Battle Brawlers and Bakugan Resurgence card set, B-Powers around 1000 were ideal. The reason as to why Battle Planet is split into 2 formats is because Battle Planet saw a massive power creep, which saw 1350 B-Power become the meta, and only Bakugan with very strong evolutions and effects can compete at that point, which is a format that would be dubbed the Unrestricted Battle Planet format. Early Battle Planet also has a clear distinction because it's the only time distribution of the card game was somewhat normal. It was still pretty bad, especially if you were outside the United States, but it wasn't as bad as Age of Aurelius and beyond. In Bakugan Armored Alliance, the B power that was most ideal was 1450 and up. There was still some semblance of a card game, so Bakugan that weren't at 1450 B power still had a chance with effects and evolutions. Unfortunately, Geogan Rising was the final format with a TCG, despite the rebrand to Bakugan Pro. In this format, Bakugan with 1550 B power or above were ideal. In Bakugan Evolutions, the ideal B power became 1650 and above. However, with core manipulating Bakugan in the fray, there was now another tier of ideal B power. For Bakugan that removed cores, it was ideal that their B powers be over 1000, since the highest B power a Bakugan could have with their core removed was 1000. Core stealing Bakugan didn't really have to worry as much, because not only would they get the boost from their own core, they would also get a boost from the core they stole. For Bakugan Legends, the minimum B power was still 1650. However, 1650 definitely wasn't as strong as it was in Evolutions. Due to the Legends format only having 2 waves, it wasn't enough to really change the minimum B power. However, I feel if it did last a full year, it would have went up to 1750 or even more. And finally, I want to talk about core sharing Bakugan. First, in Bakugan Battle Planet, there was really only one Bakugan that benefited from core sharing, and that was Darkus Hydrus Ultra, with its base 800B power, which was the highest in the format. In Armored Alliance, it was Pyrus Dragonoid Ultra with its base 900B power, and eventually Ultima Dragonoid with its base 1000B power. In Bakugan Geogan Rising, 900B power and base 1000B power was still viable for core sharing. In Bakugan Evolutions and Legends, base 1000B power was still ideal, but now they must have 2 Fire Fist cores to be worth it. Well, yeah, that's the gist of what makes a Bakugan good in my eyes. If you want a deeper delve in specific Bakugan, as well as which effects are good, check out my Bakugan Worst to Best series. Well, this has been Zeonic Blader. If you like the video, hit the like button, or don't, I'm not the boss of you. But be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get updated whenever I upload. Until next time, see ya.